So with that being said, none of us slept together. So if you can all turn on your cameras if you can, so we can see your wonderful smiling faces, because we did not fall asleep under the same roof last night. So I just want to see everybody's smiling faces this morning. Show some love. Good morning, all. So last week was an amazing week for all of us. We've started some new things. We've accomplished some things. So who here remembers what Antonio has been talking about and what we have been working on for the past week or so? All right. Not everybody unmute at once.
We started some new classes.
Heating ourselves up.
I heard you, Miss Adrian. I want to applaud Miss Adrian because I follow you on TikTok. So I just want to applaud you. When I say every time I pick up my phone to go to TikTok, there's Miss Adrian.
Yay, Miss Adrian.
With her locks, just doing it up, not caring. It's one that you talked about. Which one was it? Because you were in your house and you were just saying, and you were talking about how when you first started your lock journey, and you said, I'm about my wigs, y'all look, but you were like, but it's amazing the message that you received from that. You were saying, God was telling you, I was here with it. I was here with them. I'm here without them. I've been following you, Miss Adrian. You doing it. You are killing it. So I wanted to applaud you, Miss Adrian, because I have been following you and I have been seeing your videos, and it is a pleasure and an honor to say that I do know you.
Well, thank you, Dee. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Go ahead, Miss Evelyn.
He talked about the law of compensation. Do it yourself, do it with me, or I will do it for you. And then the full stack developer, then increase your ability to earn. Those were some of the things we talked about.
Good, most excellent. Thank you, most excellent. I like that. I like when things are comprehended. Yes,
and focus on your dreams for the next 6 months.
Focus on your dreams for the next 6 months, which I'll start there today, in addition to more things that are going to convict you. It is my hope that you are convicted and I hurt your feelings or I inspire you. It just depends on where you are in your journey. That's up to you, Frida. Most of you will not get your feelings hurt, but those of you who know that your sabotager has come out and you are intentionally slowing down your success, I'm gonna hurt your feelings a little bit. And I'm gonna use Grant Cardone to do it so you don't get mad at me. So throw ye stones at Grant Cardone. Let's talk first about masterclasses. Who have, and it's okay if you have not. I would rather you say, nah, I ain't had time. Haven't had time. Who by chance have gone to Mexiverse and read one of those master classes on a subject? Is there anybody here that's done that yet? Kind of figured.
I was reading. I don't know what you mean by masterclass, but I was going through the one about how to earn $500 per day, and went and watched the video of the guy.
Okay, yeah. There's more in that too.
Yeah,
there's more in there. Yeah. There's a lot in there. That's actually a fantastic one for sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start.
Can I say that I have been and I have started reading. I have a thing about Sandra. I have to read it more than 3 times so that I can kind of get it in there. So
no, that's fair. That's a lot of people.
But I definitely have been there, and I'm grateful that it's not hard for me, because I go back to either Facebook or to where the Lord did the link for me, and I was able to get in.
Okay, got you. Well, definitely respect that. Okay, definitely respect that for sure. Definitely respect that. I'm going to start a let's see. I think I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna test something real quick. I'm going to start a, what you call it, Tempest, a category to where you can go click on a button and it will show you master classes. What I mean by that is I don't know how to, I'm trying to take something techie and make it non-techie, and I'm having a problem because
is that what it's called? Because I'm back here right now.
Yes. What you do for me, Tempest, on the tags, go to, I'll give you two of them for sure that I can think of on top of my head. Go to a master class in inflation. Go to that. Looks like this, y'all. This one here, master class in inflation. And then a master class in stocks. And then in the category, Tempest, the tags, put master class for me. And what we're saying here, everybody, is you can go to, when you go home, there's going to be, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have it to where you can, I probably got to stretch my screen out a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to create a masterclass tab up here. I'm going to do that. Plus, when you come in here and search, right here, stop, get out the way. When you come right here and search, you'll be able to, that's not what I want to do. You'll come right here and search, and then you can type in masterclass. And everything masterclass. See, she's already done it. Everything masterclass. Make this one too, Tempest, masterclass. This one. God bless y'all for watching that one. And then masterclass here. So that's history of money. Right. Send these to her. Christian. Okay. History of money. That's it. Those, well, let me make sure. Those right now are the master classes I can think of that I've done. Yes. By master class, right here, history of money. In fact, we're just going to open all of it. Okay, we're going to open them. We're going to open them. All of these are way too much. Let's get that straight right now. They're too much. Before I tell you what is happening, I'm going to tell you what. So today, another master class comes out, and it's a master class on options trading. Y'all got me? Master class on options tradings. So that's what it is. You won't always see masterclass in the title, but it will be tag masterclass. Plus, I'll put it. The reason you won't always see masterclass in the title, because some of the titles, we have a SEO thingy that tells me what sounds good, what does not. And if I put masterclass in some of them, I go from a score of 89 to 51, which means that the headline isn't catchy enough. You get it? That's why you don't see masterclass in all the titles. That's why. That's why you don't see that. Does anyone know anything besides Phil? Phil knows. Of course, Phil knows. Anybody else know anything about options trading? All the more, Phil been doing this since the 80s, more than likely. He sold some options, I'm sure, right? Because he was in the banking industry. But besides that, if you don't know, this is a great time to know. And I don't have time to teach it because there are other things that are more pressing. Deanna asked a question today. Just tell her what you asked me, Deanna.
So I asked him, I said, exactly what is an NFT and how do you spend it?
Reasonable questions, right, Jerome? Now, here's the deal. I've written about it. I've taught about it. You understand what I'm saying? And she's with me 24 hours, 7 days a week. And she doesn't know. So what was my response to you, Deanna?
The actual answer you gave me?
Yeah.
Oh, so an NFT.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He said, well, sounds like I need to write an article about it.
Sounds like I need to write an article about it. What I'm doing with Mexico.
Can I say something right there in that
Yeah.
space? You just, you know what? I know it might sound cliche, but you just said something to me when Grace, when you said that, what your answer was to not knowing. And I hate that I have so many blocks, but I'm still going to press forward, because if you write an article about something, it forces you to do the homework, to look for things that are unknown. It forces you to prepare yourself to do certain things, to practice things that you did not know that you could do, and or
that's right,
so on and so on.
You know what?
Thank
you just no, thank you, because you just made me bring in one of my favorite people. I don't know why people don't like him, because I love him to death. I guess he's conservative. I don't really view him as a conservative. I guess he can be an a-hole, but I don't really view him as an a-hole either. I have acquired taste, but I'm talking about Jordan Peterson. I'm talking about Jordan Peterson. If you know, Jordan Peterson is one of the greatest minds on planet Earth right now living. Well, people don't like the truth. People don't like the truth, and he has this Kanye West way of giving truth, and he does it so philosophically and intelligently. You're not sure if you're impressed or offended, and people are they get messed up by that. Get messed up by that. Now, has he talked about some things that are controversial? Of course. I mean, how could you be famous if you don't? Listen to what Jordan Peterson, famous philosopher, doctorate in Toronto, and one hell of a personality. His podcast is just absolutely amazing. Listen to what he says about critical thinking, because Sandra just said this.
The best way to teach people critical thinking is to teach them to write. And I made this little thing that I put online. I don't know if maybe is it in the Psych 434 website? Did I post that rubric for essay writing?
But I don't think it actually went through. I think it is still on 430. That's how I got it.
Is it not on 434? Is that not working?
It must not have gone through when you were doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, but I still found it. It's still in 430.
Oh, okay. Well, there's an essay. Oh, that's too bad. It's not on the Psych 434 website even?
I didn't check.
Because I updated it. Anyways, I have this guide to writing that if it isn't on the 434 website, it is definitely on the 430 website. And it steps people through the process of writing. Because what's happened now, it's very hard to teach people to write because it's unbelievably time intensive. And like marking a good essay, that's really easy. Check A. You did everything right. Marking a bad essay? Oh my God. The words are wrong, the phrases are wrong, the sentences are wrong, they're not ordered right in the paragraphs aren't coherent, and the whole thing makes no sense. So trying to tell the person what they did wrong, it's like, well, you did everything wrong. Everything about this essay is wrong. Well, that's not helpful either. You have to find the few little things they did half right, and you have to teach them what they did wrong. It's really expensive. And so what I did with this rubric was try to address that from the production side instead of the grading side. But the best thing you can do is teach people to write, because there's.
And I agree 100%. Okay, I wasn't going to bring that up. I agree 100%.
Can I say that's why when people say they enjoyed my book, because I know it was all wrong, but what they grabbed from it was beneficial for them, and that's what they appreciate.
No,
That's
well,
what I appreciate, because
yeah.
having to have to do so much stuff I did it though. I did it.
Yeah. Well, this is why you young folk get on my nerves, and the older generation love me and I love them, because since my 20s I've been doing old folk stuff. You understand? And understanding stuff. And we all, when you get to a certain age, when you get to Jerome's age, you really ain't got nothing to prove no more. You ain't even trying to prove nothing to yourself at this point. That's the truth. What you're attempting to do now is to make sure the years you have left protect your peace, and whatever that means. Come on, help me, somebody that's a little older than 34. You understand?
That's
like,
good. That's
you understand?
good. No doubt.
Absolutely correct.
That's
Yes.
fact.
You know, Sister Booker, I got a few years left. Sister Booker say, I got 5,000 days left, and ain't damn one of y'all gonna mess up a single one of them. You understand? My credit ain't gonna mess up one. I'm not fit to get no unnecessary loans, because that's gonna mess it up. So you think differently when you can say, man, I got 1,783 days left. And when you know you have this many days left, you don't let people come in there and mess these days up. See, you young folk, you still think you're invincible, and you just let all the trash in, and you're gonna work it out when you say things like, "We'll cross that bridge when we get to it." No, we won't. We crossed that bridge before it started. Do you understand? I have accounted for your bridge. I'm burning it down over there. Do you understand? Sister Booker, am I lying? You know what I'm saying? I got a few days left, and all I have to do is make sure all of them peaceful. Now, whatever peace means to me is what that looks like. In my case, I don't want most of my money going out to monthly payments. So I just said something to some of y'all. So I live a life to where creditors and collectors can't take my peace. Y'all,
I'm laughing because they can't take mine neither.
I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all still out here buying cars you can't afford, and you're doing these. I'm not doing none of that stuff. And I caught that early. And that's critical thinking. I'm saying this, that's critical thinking. But it's so hard to teach critical thinking these days because we just don't write. I know you don't like it. I wouldn't go bring it up. Sandra brought it up. So I'm here bringing it back up. Think about this for a second. Have y'all noticed you'll say something like, oh, and I'll say, let me pull up this, or let me do this. But think about how much information has to be in my head to recall someone that has a very different view of me, completely on the other side of the aisle politically or something like that. And they said something specific to your situation. It means not only am I always reading, but then I'm always writing about what I've read about. So I can critically move between things so I can make the best decisions quickly. And if you don't think that that is important, examine your harvest. I can assure you, all the seeds in your life you have thought about dropping before you drop them. You have never released.
That is a fact. And one of the things that I said in 2022 that I'm going to buckle down regardless of what's happening. It's a lot of stuff. It's amazing how many things come up when you got 13 grandchildren and all the parents and the great grands. I mean, it really is a lot. But I thank God for allowing me to be able to hold it all. I don't know if anyone has seen that. I don't even know the name of the movie. But anyway, in the movie, there's one of the sisters is singing about how she has to keep the weight off of the family and help everybody else. And she fears if she wasn't able to take the pressure, what if something happens to her, all of that. But anyway, my point in saying all of that is that I'm really going to try to, well, not even try, I'm really working on getting to where I can sit and write, even in the times of not, when my nerves is not acting right. I'm definitely going to, I need to be dropping some stuff down. Cause like even with the other classes that you did, the spiritual classes, there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to write down. But anyway, I'm just saying writing definitely does exactly what God said it would.
What?
Write it down, it'll make it plain. It really does.
Yeah,
And it helps.
it's how we tell nobility from peasants today. I know you're not gonna like what I'm about to say, but peasants will always be with you. The poor will be with you always. There will always be some form of the bourgeois class, the middle class, and there will always be, and that's kind of got made up during 1400s when people like Christopher Columbus were making money like kings and queens, but they weren't knights, they weren't born of nobility, and they weren't peasants, but they start taking expeditions and bringing back a lot of gold. That's when the bourgeois class, the middle class, came across 1400, at the end of the Middle Ages. It rushed in the Renaissance period. Different day, unless that question comes up. Now, I want you to process this information. The poor will be with you always. Christopher Columbus looked like a sailor. Peasants looked like peasants. Knights looked like knights. And royalty looked like royalty. You can't tell no more. Not today. You can have a whole brain surgeon, tattoos all on the neck. Come on now. I've seen judges with sleeves, the tattoo sleeves, well respected. Me, the whole upper part, or what is that? My whole back is one big tattoo. You ain't never seen it because I'm always in a suit and a jacket. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the truth. It's the truth. I mentor you with Tupac paintings on my
Antonio.
back. Yes, sir.
Very few people know this. Only your close circle knows this, but I'm about to disclose that the T in Antonio T. Smith Jr. stands for tattoo.
Facts. It actually does. I have my arms up into the sleeve to the elbow, my arms and my back. That makes what, 50% of my upper body is tattooed. You can't tell. I'm eloquent. I'm blah, 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 blah. So we can't tell nobility. But let me tell you the gateway of getting money you haven't earned. When Arshia says, oh, I want to go get a scholarship, guess what they're going to say? Write a 2,000-word essay. It's the truth. It is how, when y'all ask all the time, Antonio, can you help me get some grant money? Guess what all these grants say? Write an essay, put together an executive summary. You want to go to the bank and get money you haven't earned, an SBA loan, money that's there allocated for small businesses. Guess what the bank is going to say? Write down a business plan. Whenever there is the gatekeeper, that whenever there's a gateway for those of you who want something you haven't earned, but you need it to get your legacy, they tell you, write something down. Let me see who you are. And I need y'all to receive that. And when you write, if you sound like a peasant, they never call you back. See, I know you don't like this, but anybody 50 and over appreciates me telling y'all this right now. I'm telling you, they when you sound like a peasant, they send you back. When you sound like middle class, they tell you, I can't approve you at this time. They only approve the knights and the royalties. And then you get offended and say, the white man holding me back. No, your critical thinking, when it was your time, held you back. Do you understand?
I got something to say in that.
I'm sure you do. I give Prophet Jerry next.
Because when my book came out, and everybody started to buy it and grab it, and when it was like there was no way to take it back, because I was in a fear of, I saw all of the mistakes. I saw all of the typos. So the blessing of it was that I guess there were so many typos that they could tell that it wasn't the writer, it wasn't like a writer position. So, but I had a thing about that. So when you're speaking on that, it's like people are like, well, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? Or why didn't you do this? So I guess my question is, or what you're saying is that I was right in what I did, but I would be better to come back. That's why I've been so adamant about making sure that it is something. Sorry, that the machine is percolating right here with me. I don't know if y'all can hear.
No, I can hear every word you're saying. You have a good question and a good problem, which forces out an even better answer.
Amen.
So we have to define here what typos are, because you didn't have typos. So there's a difference between grammatical errors and and syntactical errors. I was trying not to say that word, but because I now got to break it down, which is part of Adrian's question. Grammar is when you put something in something and you get all them red lines. Let me tell you what grammar is. Grammar is the rules of writing when it comes to spelling, misspelling, use of a word in the wrong place or right place, etc., etc. And I purposely chose all the right grammar just to explain that, to give you an example while I was giving you the answer. When you look at her book, her book was written towards one audience. This is where it gets funny at. And then she presented it to another audience. And that is what was called typos. So we have to explain this here. When you take on a project, and I love Adrian's question, when you take on a project, you have to be careful who you're presenting it to. Because once you present it to a certain place, it's all wrong or it's all right. This is very important you understand this here. When I present to you in the mornings, I understand fundamentally, I am not talking to the elite as far as top 1%, nor am I talking to the non-elite. So I can't be too simple. That'd be the worst thing I can do. And I most certainly have to and I can't talk to you at your level, because you don't follow me to talk to you at your level. I think somebody missed that. I have to talk to you where real talk. I have to talk to you where you're attempting to be. When Adrian got feedback for her book was not for the people she got feedback from, and the common language it was in was below their level in the first place. Rewind, press play. I don't need you to hear what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. When I talk to Adrian, in order for Adrian to continuously get value from me, I have to talk to Adrian further than what she is. But when Adrienne got feedback for her book, she gave content to people who didn't need it in a language to where they already surpassed. So of course there were thousands of typos. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. But those, what you call in typos, are syntactical. She moved over to the syntax of things, not the grammar of things. This is very important to understand. Not the grammar, but the phonetics, the art in which you place sentences together in the rules of that lexicon. That is, a lexicon is different from a dictionary. A lexicon is the breakdown of a language in that one language and everything about that language. A dictionary is definitions on words that can go plenty of places, but a lexicon is different than a dictionary. A Greek lexicon tells you everything about the Greek language, the possessive, the genitive, the dative. I'm trying not to go too far, right? And all that stuff like that. And I want you to think about this for a moment. The reason why I love Adrienne's question so much, because it forces out an answer so tough, because she asks, was it right or was it wrong? Both. But listen why. Was Adrienne right to perfect her craft as she felt good enough to sell it? You better believe it. And I'll defend her every time. Do you understand? Is Adrienne right to believe everything that came back to her? No. You must know who is your buying audience. Do you understand what I'm saying? You must know who your buying audience is. Who are the people that are going to donate to you because they're better than you? Because that's what some of y'all donations come. Don't fool me now. Don't fool me now. Don't. Grace Mama has supported all the Grace Network marketing companies and ain't never been a real customer.
Antonio.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Emil.
My internet's not cool right now, so I'm just going to type something out. Can you read it for everyone?
Absolutely. Sure can. So back to Adrienne. I love everything Adrienne did because now she knows her audience. See, going to that work, she knows who she want to talk to. And here's the Adrienne, I want to make sure you hear what I'm about to say. This is what I really love about it. And I don't know if she was conscious of doing it, but Adrienne got to address her opposing audience. Now your book is flawless. Until you address opposing viewpoints, you don't have an argument. You have an ignorant conversation. Yeah, real talk. Real talk. You have a very ignorant conversation that is convoluted with biasness. That's what you have. Until you address opposing viewpoints, you do not have an argument. And every book is an argument for something. In her case, her book was an argument to be happy in bad times. That's the argument she's making. Her biasness is bad times don't last always. That's her bias. Her argument is get over it. That's her argument. See the good, get over it. So once you present yourself an argument, you must accept. Some folk will say, but I ain't like this part. It's what it is. You get what I'm saying?
But that's all right, because as long as you ain't in the box, you still got time.
There you go.
You still got time.
There you go. So the short answer to Adrienne is I liked everything she did. Because until you're comfortable with what you got, you're not going to represent it well. Some of y'all got a car that you don't even like. That's why you never clean it. That's why you never clean it, at the outside or the inside. Because until you like it, you're not going to represent it well. My old wisdom coming out again, Grace. But until you like it, you're just never going to represent it well. Adrian now likes her book. And she had to argue opposing viewpoints with Deanna, supporting that for 6 months. You get it? So her book is flawless.
That's why it's going to the president, baby. It's going all the way to the top. It's going to the top.
There you go. And that's how all y'all should do. You should do it about your business. You should do it about everything. Every time Phil presents tonight, Monday, Phil and Susan are going to present to y'all some sort of argument about staying happy and professional. And someone in the audience is going to disagree. And that's their job. Every time you open your mouth and present an argument, there are opposing viewpoints. The better of you will address these opposing viewpoints at conception. Before I ever talk to y'all, like a lawyer, I'm ripping my own argument up. And then I'm arguing with my best argument against myself. This is how you get the best out of yourself, which I'm about to bring up.
Stop it. Is that what y'all were doing?
Yes.
Because listen, because it did happen that way. Because each day, each edit, each time I read something, it became better and more clearer. That's right. Like, wait, I don't want to say that. I do like that, but no, we got to say this so that it stands no matter what.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. There is a biblical example of this truth. If you are of the Christian
persuasion,
there you go. I was trying to think of a word. I got these big words in my head. I'll be trying to come down. The persuasion. Okay, if you're of the Christian persuasion, there is a biblical example of somebody writing a book and redacting it to their masterpiece. The Apostle Paul, Galatians and Romans are pretty much the same book. Galatians is a bunch of fantastic ideas that are underdeveloped. But at the end of Paul's life, he goes, and Galatians is written very early in his journey. At the end of Paul's life, Paul goes back to what he believes. It has always, his beliefs didn't change, and then writes them better. I dare you to, you can probably Google, I'm sure there's a scholar like me that already did this, Galatians versus Romans. You know what, let's play right now before I give Prophet Jay. Let's play with it right now. Okay, we're going to do it right now. We're going to see what's up there right now. This is live at live TV.
And if it's not, we're going to write it right now.
We're going to write it right now. Right? What do Galatians and Romans and Galatians have in common? There you go. Both Galatians and Romans have a section of law, righteousness, that's pistis, this is faith, Abraham, Jews, and Gentiles. There you go. I've never Googled that before in my life, but I went to seminary, so I know some things. You know what I'm saying? Now think about this. That's somebody writing a masterpiece and going, I don't know, I gotta do better. And as they get more sister Booker like, more Phil like, it was young Phil versus I ain't got nothing else to prove, Phil. And I'm going to the head of the nation, the world, Rome, and I got to write the biggest masterpiece I've ever wrote.
You said it right. You said it right. We going to the head of the nation. You right.
You understand. And then boom, this is when I got to write this in. And that's what Adrian did. So what I'm attempting to tell you is, if people who wouldn't even try to write scriptures that became scriptures was doing it in 1st century AD, ain't no sense in me telling you shouldn't be redacting your own work. I'm redacting this, making better completions and more cohesive arguments in your own work. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Adrian, don't ever feel bad for changing your masterpiece. That's why it's your masterpiece. Just be careful, because Now that your book is perfect, if you fool around and give it to a different audience, they're gonna be like, I don't like it. That ain't the audience. That's the
But that's okay though, because it's not going to have because at the end of the day, like you said in the very beginning, when people look at it or read it,
that's right,
and they lose a piece of you in it because of how it is presented, that I was speaking, like that was my spirit. Like at first I thought it was just me because I know how I am. So I thought it was something that God was really working on through me, because I don't like mistakes. Like I have a thing about reading a book that has mistakes. But since then, and in this whole editing process, I mean, I have read manufacturer books, like on products, and seen typos and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, okay. You're fixing me, God, in everything that I see, because it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it represents you,
the
it
only
should be
people.
okay.
Another hard truth, hard pill to swallow. The only people who have ever criticized Jerome, Phil, Sister Booker, Margie are people who make less money than them. No one doing better than you has ever criticized you. No one.
That's a great point. That's so
no
true.
one.
That's so true.
No one. Even if they have more money than you, Damali, they hate themselves. You get it? They hate themselves.
Because they never wrote the book. They never did that. They didn't go all the way through with it. So you're right. You're definitely, you're telling me right here.
Criticism only goes up. It never comes down. I don't know how to. Please receive that so I can get Prophet Jerry. Receive this so you can have a good 2022. Anybody telling you what's wrong with you is lower in their mind than you. I'm awful. We all equal. We're all God. I get that. But I need you to understand the practicality of things, that if I'm saying, I don't like what you did, yeah, that's me looking up at you, and I can't handle your shine because it reflects me, and I don't like my reflection.
Exactly.
Give me a grace.
Period.
Come in, Grace. Get ready, Prophet Jerry. I'm just saying, I've done this before a couple of years ago. I got to do it again. Come on this here. Come on this here right side here, Grace. I got to do it again. Here is Grace. As long as Grace is not in her, stay get on camera. As long as she's not in her gifts, I'm just fine. Then Grace all of a sudden starts shining. This is what happened in y'all marriages. Now, the side effect of shining is now she start reflecting. And see, I was fine with Grace when she wasn't showing me that I wasn't doing as good as her at chasing my dreams. But now that she's shining, all I can see, Jerome, is her shine. And in her shine, I see my reflection. Can I push it further? Adrian wrote a book. So anybody who saw that shine and had a secret desire to write a book but never did it couldn't handle her shine. So the only way to get rid of my reflection is to dull your shine. There you go, Grace. Thank you so much.
I'm telling you to shut up right now, bro. That's it.
Facts.
That's it.
Just drop the mic.
So there you go. So some people can't handle their reflection, so they'll kill your shine. That's what happens. It happens. And sometimes we marry these people. Okay. Go ahead, Prophet Jerry. I ain't even done yet. Far from it.
Greetings, sir. How you doing this morning?
Greetings. I am well. How about yourself?
All right. Since you brought up the Bible and stuff, my question was, I love you because you're real and and you punch people in the face and it's like you don't care. It's like because you want them to get to where you at, or further.
Right.
But the question that I had to ask was, you was talking about your tattoos. Now I know about the grandma one and what that was for.
Right.
But why the tattoos, and did the church give you a hard time? I like to twist things.
Yeah, I got you.
With Leviticus and all that stuff.
Of course they did, but I'm not gonna say the church gave me a hard time in this case, because I want to do a hard differentiation between the church, big C, and its mission, and the local body, the little c, that represents the mission. It wasn't even the local body that gave me a hard time. It was those people who represented the local body that forgot where they came from. Just allow me to quote Shannon Clark. Wow. Shannon Clark once told us in tears, because she was hurt by something. She said, church folk only want God to save the people they like.
Ain't that the truth?
Never forgot it.
That's the truth.
Hurt my feelings, and I can't stop thinking about it, Sister Booker, because sometimes when you write, it hurts. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes when you write, it hurts, and I've never forgot that. I'm never going to forget it. Never thought about it. But boy, was she right, at least in her situation. So the people who gave me a hard time forgot they used to not be saved.
And they had a whole lot of tattoos, just couldn't see them.
Tattoos wasn't cool when y'all was growing up. If you had a tattoo when Phil and Susan was growing up, you got out of prison, and you got it in prison. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, when I was growing up, it was a badge of honor. These two different times. When I was growing up, if you had your earring in your left ear, acceptable. If you was a boy, if it was in your right ear, come on now, help me, somebody. You understand? You was something a little different.
You were wrong. No, if it was in the right ear, you were wrong. You were right. If it was in your right ear, you was wrong. That's what you was. Right. You was wrong.
Sugar in the tank, right? Now,
that's right. You was a sweetie.
Don't mean nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? Things change. So why I got tattoos? Because I came from the era where drugs and tattoos made you acceptable. Period. Did people give me a hard time? Yes. Now, here's how I like to address it. I got tattoos. I come from drugs. I come from these places so I can minister to people who got tattoos, who come from those places.
Exactly. I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody needs to be used somewhere. Phil can do better in a country club than me. Not because he is of the people who do the country clubs, just that he's trained himself to do that since he was riding around in white Cadillacs. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's trained himself for that. I've trained myself to be a bridge over troubled waters. I can go to the hood, or I can go to scholastic places. Either way, I'm a bridge. You are what you trained yourself to be, and that's where you're most effective. Cool? People give me a bad time, yeah, but I would never say it was the church. It was folk that as soon as they got saved, they wanted all y'all to stop sinning. And that don't make no sense. They got all their stuff out while you can't. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. And that's, of course, that's a Christian conversation. If you understand saying the way Prophet Jerry did, I try to answer it in that way. But you understand what I'm saying? Master classes. All this, because I need you to understand that every time you ask me a question or I'm anticipating some of your questions, I'm writing it down. So let's go with just examine real quick. one of these master classes. Now, Tempest has made the change. I do appreciate her. Tempest has made the change. So when you refresh it, if you just come over here, I'll make Tempest, if you want, make masterclass a heading, a menu real quick. Make that category a menu and put it up here. But for now, and then I'll refresh it again. If you come here and search and you type in masterclass, you will now get to all the master classes. I cannot stress to you enough how important these things are. Do you understand? I cannot stress to you enough how important these things are. And I'm going to tell you why. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to it. Because they are issues that you need to master to get out of the middle class. Let's talk about inflation. So when you come to inflation, doesn't matter. The wealth gap and capitalism. Here it is, a bunch of links everywhere, a fantastic video. Boom, like bulletin points, nasty repeat of Trump years, another video. Here we go, 6 facts about economic inequality in the United States. Here it is, charts, all sorts of stuff, more links, more charts, more links, more charts. Pay attention, because as I move, look what this cursor is. More charts, more. This is pretty fantastic. Right here. Just keep going. Another video, this time from a professor who wrote one of the greatest books on capitalism. You probably never heard of him. Then there was a case study by 2 people who won a Nobel Prize. They were wrong. They literally won the Nobel Prize and 10 years later got proven wrong. And this right here, this is the truth. Way back in 1997, 2 economists, Robert Milton, Myron Scholes, I think they're both dead or he's still alive. These guys were famous. They won the Nobel Prize. And they won a Nobel Prize for saying, well, Phil and Susan, they're going to do right in the economy no matter what. Lies. 23 things they don't tell you about capitalism. He wrote it. Here, I put his speech. Right here, I put his speech up to where he's at this school. And he's doing a fantastic job.
That doesn't have
explaining to you how right he is, only to be proven wrong. And here's, right, idea number 2, and you go. And then I break down a good summary of the book. Here's 23 things they don't tell you. Here's number 1. There's number 2 again, and I give you all 23 things. Just keep going and keep going and keep going. Boom. Here's my own, Antonio's own thoughts on capitalism. Humans would not always act rationally. They won the Nobel Prize by telling Sister Booker, you and your husband will always act rationally in capitalism during hard time. Nope, lies. You've seen that. If you think we act rationally, the moment COVID started, toilet paper left the world. Let me stop my screen first. I need to see y'all. Toilet paper was extinct. Hand sanitizer, extinct. Toothpaste and hand soap in great abundance. This makes no sense. There is nothing rational about wiping your rear and then using sanitizer. That's what the data says. That's what the data says. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the data says. So we're not rational, and we're not going to be rational. Blah, blah, blah. So here it is, my own thoughts of capitalism. I break it down, and then I leave you in the love and the light of one infinite intelligence, which is the creator. Go forth and rejoice in the power and the peace of your dreams. Blah blah blah. Me. If you finish this, you will understand how you can benefit from not getting caught up in this cycle. Do you understand? It's that simple. Prophet Jerry, if you ain't read Is the Christian God Racist? God bless you. Don't just know that it's a doozy. And once again, too much. This is all my words, by the way. Too much. I even picked theological arguments, and I forget which school this is. This is it's a high school. I can't remember which school it is. Let me see. Oh, Villanova. Yeah, you don't get much higher than Villanova. Evidence, blah 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 blah. Right. I even put in your boy Tony Evans because why not? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not just that, the history of money, which you absolutely need to know. Fiat money, crypto. Found the fantastic by Raul Paul. Found the fantastic video. The video is 10 minutes, 59 seconds. It is most fantastic. And then I start breaking it down. Information on the feature video is right here. Then I hit you with one of Phil's favorite scriptures, Ecclesiastes 10:19. The feast is made for laughter, wine makes life merry. You understand, but money answers all things. You understand? That's in there. Hit you with that. And then I tell you straight up, this is what I'm going to be talking about ASAP. What's been exposed by coronavirus, how to fix your money, non-loss on reaping, and I go ahead and do that. This is not me attempting to tell you that you need to read these. Just know, this is me saying, I ain't got time to teach these. They're super long because they're master classes. My intent here is, if you read this, you have nothing else to read, Dolores. I'm not done yet. For those of you, yes, sir.
On the subject, I mean, you don't have anything else to read on the subject at that time because of the like you put it all in the master class.
That's right.
That you answer the question, so you pose a question, answer the question, and then give your thoughts.
That's right. Absolutely.
On the question. And then that would be it for the master class.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right.
100%. You don't need
I
to
learned
go
something today.
Yeah.
Look, I just learned something today. Okay?
Yeah. Don't need to go nowhere else. You don't. Somebody else was saying something. Was that Prophet Jerry?
What was the name of the book you was talking about in the master class about Christians?
Oh no, that wouldn't. Well, there was a book in there. That was, I think the name of the book was. So there's a scholar called Lee Strobel. He has this fantastic library in Houston. He's a lawyer that hated God. They actually made a movie about his whole story here recently, about 5 years ago. It's called The Case for God. Y'all seen that? Or no, God is not dead. That's the movie about Lee Strobel.
Oh wow.
He was a lawyer that put God on trial. Real talk. He put God on trial to prove God does not exist. And on that journey, that is The Case for Christ, Lee Strobel. I can't believe Phil has it. Look at it. The Case for Christ. Okay, I'm telling you, The Case for Christ, fantastic. I met him in 2012. He signed a couple of my books because Houston Baptist is a real big deal, and a lot of people go there. And he was trying to disprove Christ like a lawyer. And on his journey to do that, end up receiving Christ. So I used a couple
in the head with the truth.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
So wait, that was that movie? That was okay. So that movie was real. That was about that book.
Oh yeah,
I did see that movie.
Oh
I
yeah.
did see
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
about the college students, right? And the professor.
That's right.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I did reference that book because I wanted to know someone put God on trial before I did. Lee Strobel did. You know, I'm always doing that. So that was the name. But that was a class. And the only reason, I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The only reason I did it, let's see. What was it? What's the name of that? I'll just put racist in here. I'm sure it'll pop up. Yeah, well, the good thing is we have a very good search function on. If you can't remember, so we have a very good search function. It's very good. A very good search function. You use it when you post it. Yeah, you can literally search well on this here. You feel mind blowing? Okay. This Grace, read it so I don't get in trouble. Just introduction from the writer, me being the writer. Go ahead.
I have attempted to be as objective in this writing as possible. I was inspired by Lee Strobel and his work. Also, I wrote this because many Black people I know are holding back their prosperity because they believe they are cursed.
Stop right there, Grace. It's the only reason that exists. It's the only article of its kind on Mexit. There's not a single thing. There's nothing I'm putting on Mexit or Deanna or Ibrahim or Tempest that has nothing to do with X in the middle class. Problem is, many of you melanated folk grew up hearing about how God cursed Black people. You say what you want, but you know I'm right. It's in all our circles, from the Bible Belt to non-Bible Belt. I'm telling you, I know it. I have traveled the world, but we all get the same message when it gets to how Noah cursed his son for looking upon his nakedness. Don't fool me now. Okay, yeah. See, I see all y'all don't want to keep it real, but that's okay. You ain't got to. Yeah. We all, I got Grace. We all believe on some level from teachers who have taught us that we trusted because they look like us. See that? See that? That it's harder for us, Black people, to get prosperity because the system, because God made it that way. Don't fool me. Because if your mama, your grandmother, if you ever grew up hearing, you got to work twice as hard as white people. If you ever heard something like that, this comes from that Bible verse.
I have even been guilty of saying it.
See? You hear what I'm saying? It comes, there's a lot of things in American and Western Civ that comes from the Bible. A lot of things, a lot of sayings. You can Google it. They all come from the Bible. Like you Jezebel. Jezebel was, according to the Bible, the worst woman to have ever lived on planet Earth. So when someone calls you a Jezebel, they not just saying you fast and loose. They said, okay, you are the worst woman they've ever met in their lives.
Considering that Jezebel is a spirit and not actually the woman. Like, God.
I just tried, there's so many different things, right? So many different things. I wrote that, and if you see, I tell you up front while I'm writing this, and I do my very best, Sister Booker, to at no point it doesn't bash the church. It doesn't. It's just a hermeneutical reading of the scriptures is what it is. That is it. Nothing else. I've included many biblical data, and as an argument, I included other scholars, whether they were agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like Sister Booker said in the comments, I can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time. It would not be possible for me to please everyone here, or anyone here. You know what I'm saying? But here's my attempt to at least please one. My recent conversation with Black people who think they are cursed, cannot be wealthy, have frustrated me. As a result, took it upon myself to write something that could shed light upon the subject. And I bring up hermeneutics, or I link it so you can figure out what hermeneutics is in another place, blah, 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 blah. Lastly, I graduated from Houston Baptist, and I only said this, so I did my best to represent my alma mater. That is it. I was just trying not to put a black eye on them. This is written because I'm telling you, I am a Black person living in America. And one of the hardest fights I've had to fight was believing God wanted to bless me like God blessed white people. I'm just...
You mean while you were still alive? Like,
Wow.
because we're supposed to get this when we die, right?
That's a slave.
We're supposed to struggle while we live, and then we'll receive our reward in death.
That's right. And Black people are to live a good life in poverty. And when you die, it's in our songs. Walk the streets of heaven. You walk around heaven. One of the greatest songs.
Come on now. Wait a minute. The streets are paved with gold,
Paved
baby.
with gold.
Every day will be like Sunday.
Every day
will be like Sunday. Here's another one. When the gates swing open. Come on now.
Watch it, Bishop. Watch it, Bishop.
It's all in ours. We don't just believe it. We worship these ideas. Every day should be Sunday on earth. But we have made worship the idea life will get better by and by.
Bishop, one quick question.
Yes, sir.
In the mix of this, right? Okay. I think it's Peter, where he said, if you suffer with me, you'll reign with me, right?
Right.
So I think that's Peter. I'm not sure.
Oh, right. Keep going. I got you.
Peter. But if you suffer with me, you'll reign with me. So as a kid, I'm thinking I had to suffer in order. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we worship, we shout over that. If I get in the pulpit right now and say, man's life is short and all right, Reverend, all right. We have call and response reactions to this. That's why I wrote that. I wrote it because Dolores, whether she understands it or not, believes she's in a male-dominated industry and has to work harder than most people to be seen. And while that feels true, it's just not true. You can't believe that and believe you're a child of God. You can't have both. There's only one of these masters you get to serve. You're going to believe that if God wants to bless you, God going to bless you in spite of, or you're going to believe that it's harder for you. Can't serve two masters. Jerome, I'm on it today, Jerome. You think it takes serve two masters is, God and the devil. These are ideas too. The idea that I have to work harder, 2 times harder at least, than white people. And then when you call me, my professional voice is my non-African voice. Mm-hmm. Hello? Mm-hmm. Yes, this is Antonio, right? Like the mere fact that I do that says this is permeated in me. It's in there. Do you understand? It's there. And these thoughts and beliefs are a different master than I can do all things. Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta like it, but somebody gotta say it. Somebody gotta say it. And those are 2 different masters. And the idea, Frida, of you believing you have to work harder when every hard worker you know in your life is poor. I want you to think about the hardest working people in your life. They're the most honest, abused people by this nation you've ever seen. Most of y'all have a grandmother or a grandfather or some ancestor that cleaned toilets and never showed up late, went to work sick and died poor just so you can have a chance. And those days, Sister Booker, need to be over. They need to be over. And I just highlighted in that particular masterclass, oh, ye Black folk, stop using God as an excuse to be poor. Do you hear me? They say I'm going to the bottom of the deepest ocean. I'm just trying to do that. That wasn't, and when you read that, it won't make you uncomfortable. It's not about race. It's nothing uncomfortable there. It is a hermeneutical reading of all the verses that are somehow trapped in your head. Is your God the cattle? Does your God own the cattle of 1,000 hills and only gives it to certain people? Or does it just say own the cattle of 1,000 hills? We qualify what God gonna do with them cattle. God does not. So that's why I get in trouble, Sister Booker. I'm so conservative. I don't let you put stuff in. Like, get your philosophies out the scriptures. You understand what I'm saying? But people don't like me when I do that. But they don't belong there. It is, I could do exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ask or think for. No exception. No rules for this. Yes, it's impossible. But can you think of it, Dolores? I'm feeling my help coming. If you can think of it, it ain't impossible. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you think of it, and since my ways are not your ways and my thoughts ain't your thoughts, I'm going to give you better than what you thought. Now, you going to believe that, or you going to come down and be realistic. But that's two masters. I prefer the master that walked into a fiery furnace, and the only thing that burnt on him was the ropes holding him back.
Jesus.
I'm done. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. I'm trying to hold my mule. I ain't trying to go there, Jerome. But I'm just saying that sometimes, even the guy say, "Who's that fourth one?" I only said 3 of them in there. Y'all don't want to hear me. Yeah, I only said 3 of them in there. What's this fourth one? And he looks like the Son of God. That's what it say. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's what it say. And all I'm telling you is, wow, them boys was in there was supposed to get burned up, Jerome. The only thing that got burnt was what man put on them to kill them. Can I turn around on you now, Frida? Somebody done put something on you that's supposed to kill you. Put something on you that's supposed to kill you. But don't worry about it, because when you with the right one, the things they put on you will burn off and you'll never burn at all. Won't even come out smelling like smoke. Dolores don't look like what she been through.
Watch it, Bishop.
Do you understand? And I'm just trying to say that's one master. I like that one. That whole let me struggle while I'm living, I don't like that one. That ain't me.
That one has to go.
I grew up with that one. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up with that one. I ain't trying to do it no more. I want to walk into a furnace and come out smoke free.
Yes.
So I just want to end with Grant Cardone. It's 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I want to end with Grant Cardone because I came in this morning. I played this to y'all last year. Y'all didn't get it. You heard it, but you didn't apply it. So I'm going to let Grant Cardone yell at you one more time in a calm voice about his 4 levels of action.
The first problem, the first thing a person has to do to be successful is they must get attention. They do not teach you this in college, unfortunately. Most colleges do not teach the ability to grab attention. You have to get people's attention. We live in a very noisy world. Okay, if you're going out into the job market and you're looking for a job, do not think that you are competing with other people. You are not competing with other people. You are competing with noise, the noise of the world. So your number one competition in the marketplace when you leave college, if you ever choose to leave college, your number one competition, your biggest problem will be attention, getting attention. What is success? What is this thing called success? Success is the difference between my potential and my reality. So look, a lot of people think when they think success, they think somebody's talking about money. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the achievement of the gap. I want to close the gap. I want to close the gap between my potential and what I'm experiencing. And that could be in my marriage, it could be with my children, it could be as a father, it could be as a role model, it could be as a businessman, it could be as a trainer, it could be as, what's my potential? If you've ever been dissatisfied with your life, where your life is, you don't know it, maybe you don't know it, but now you know it. It's because the gap isn't filled up. This is what drives people to continue on, to keep going, because they're looking to fulfill this gap. That's what should drive you, okay? You know the difference between the people that don't make money in this country and the people that do make? It's not their religion, it's not the color of their skin, it is not even their education, it's their readers. So folks, you gotta learn, all right? You have to learn things like this. There's 4 levels of action. You do these every day, okay? There's 4 levels of action. You know what no action is, right? That's that empty chair next to you. That's somebody not taking action, okay? Number 2 is retreat. You actually back up from something. You had a bad experience. Maybe you made an investment, it didn't work out. I'll never do that again. Maybe you saw your mom get foreclosed on. 3rd, which is the most dangerous, by the way, if you're taking notes. Number 3 is the most dangerous of all 4, is normal levels of activity. Number 4, which I believe is the only level of activity that you'd want to operate at, is massive amount of activity. Now, massive, for you to be at massive levels of activity, this is what you would have to do. You'd have to have new problems. The 4th one is exceptional. Here's your biggest challenges. You only have 3 challenges. It's not the economy, it's not politics, it's not money. The first biggest challenge you have is obscurity. I don't know you. If I don't know you, I cannot hire you. If I don't know you, I cannot buy your services. If I don't know you, I cannot fund your activities or your brainchild next business. You're gonna be the next $1 billion guy. Dude, if I don't know you, I can't help you. You got a charity or something you wanna help. If I don't know you, it don't matter.
I just feel like that should be in the Bible somewhere. There's nothing about that I disagree with. 4 levels of action. The only one you need to be at is number 4, massive action. Because your problem is obscurity. And I walked in here this morning and I told them, y'all doing normal levels of action again. Allow me to explain why this is a problem. Because Dolores, it's the illusion of getting things done. If you're doing normal levels of action and your competition is doing normal levels of action, then you're noise like them. The only way to break through the noise is massive levels of action. I need y'all to receive this. Please. Please, 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 please. You want Mexit News to be great? Massive levels of action. I'm already doing it. Deanna just did 3 pictures this morning for the first time because I talked to her. That makes no sense. I'm grateful, but it makes no sense. It makes no sense because it's noise until we the best. Until we're known for news without politics. Like, that's so cool to say, man, news without politics, that should be trending and we should be the trendors. Someone should be saying, let me do an ad about news without politics. Just blah, 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 blah. It should. It should. And you figure out what's your niche? What are you doing? So lastly, we're going to start programming at 10. That gives me an opportunity to finish this article on options trading and the difference between stocks and options. It's important. I'm not telling you to go out and trade for options or stocks. But if you don't know the difference, that is a problem. It is a problem because you only know how to trade time for money. Am I telling you to read this article, Prophet Jerry, and it will bless you beyond measure? Yes, I am. But not because the information will bless you, because you will open up your mind. Once your mind is open, it can't be closed. And then the universe can now talk to you differently. But the reason why you can't get breakthrough messages, the reason why God can't show up to you as unearned income, because you don't know nothing about it.
Don't drop that. 'Cause people have been talking about it, and I've just been like, I don't know. Yeah. So please drop it so I can get on it.
I got you. It's gonna have plenty of videos. I'll just show you what's written right now. I just so you can see. Here it is right here. This is the back. This is the back. See that score 81? If I put masterclass, it's gonna drop down to 54. Actually, you can actually see it when I did it. See, 55. Masterclass went to 55. So I that's why I don't put it all the time in there. That's why I don't do that. Here is which one y'all? I don't think y'all want to see the coding part. So I switched to vision. Here it is. Look, best class. There's links. I got there go them graphs again. Right? Boom. I'm doing it all over again. Each link takes you somewhere else. And as you can see, I even got them open up a new Investopedia, option prices, option profitability, expiration dates. There's going to be a video right here. And then I just once again, here's a video. Right now what I'm doing is I'm adding the videos I want in the right places. Here I talked about strike price, expiration date, option premium, and then I found the very fantastic video from Ameritrade talking about options expirations. That's what's missing right now, all my videos, etc. Like, I don't want to hold you here on Mexit. I'm doing my best to give you, I don't want you to research. I want you to find one place, Mexit, that did it all for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. The point is for you to go, I ain't got to do the work anymore. I'm just going to save this. I'll come back to it. And if you're somebody like Stradivari, in fact, let me call names: Dolores, Stradivari, Chiquita, who's not here, Monica, Margie, Cindy, Arshia, Frida. Why y'all not doing like Deanna, getting this article, hitting Control P on your Windows, which you should have a Mac, it's okay, printing it out, and then reteaching everything I got here. It's free content. Genuinely, all you have to do is go to it, and you can start a podcast, something that you can get paid for just from traffic about like, you don't even have to be a master of this. What you do is you go to it. Show you again. You go to it and you say, especially Prophet Jerry. Let's use Prophet Jerry as a thing. There's an article. Yeah, hey, Prophet Jerry, is God racist? I want to hear your thoughts. And then you go, and then you just start talking. You do this video. There's a bunch of content off of that. You know what I'm saying? And then you just start disagreeing with me, or you start agreeing with me. It doesn't matter. For you not to be reteaching this information, you don't know how to put out content. You refuse to put out content. So stop trying to create content. Use somebody else's content to create content. The news media has been doing that to you since you've been born. The news is not making up content. They going out there, oh, you did something stupid today. Let me report about it. That's it. That's my talk for today. That's my talk. You should be, if you look on YouTube, I was on subject. It says master classes, levels of action, and more is what the YouTube video says. That's what I said what I was going to talk about today. I said what I was going to talk about. It's right here. I never got off subject. Master classes, levels of action, and more. I did what I said I was going to do. I am now complete. Am I telling you to take all my content and reteach it? Doggone right. And the weirder you do it, the better. Dolores should be one of the first ones to grab that is God racist thing. because she does interviews. And she could have a segment per author, like per person, and say, hey, you know what? I read an article and I want your thoughts on this. Here's this one section. And please, the more they disagree with me, the better your content. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've been struggling for sermons, Prophet Jerry, I could get 112 out of that one article. Everything, you should have your sermonic, every time I open my mouth, your sermonic glasses ought to be on.
Oh, trust me, after I come from the doctor, I'm reading that.
It is. Yeah, if I'm putting it out there, it's yours. Anything, it costs you no money to say, you know what, Deanna, I didn't heard Antonio for the last time. I'm not going to let him tell me again. This is what I'm fit to do. Can you, I'm going to start this. I'm taking all his content, reteaching it. What percentage are you going to take from me to monetize my website? And Deanna, you would say what?
30%.
And then you say, is there a cost up front? And I have no idea what she's going to say. You're going to say what, Deanna?
$1,000 up front because there's more that I'm going to do than just monetize your website.
So for $1,000 up front, that I'm sure could be broken down to a few payments and allocated out to a few months, you can start making $1,000 a month off somebody else's content. Antonio T. Smith Jr. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. Where's Phil? We got to talk about. As soon as you come back, we need to figure out what y'all talking about tonight during the thing. So I'll just delay a little bit. There he goes. All right. Yeah. I almost forgot, Phil. See,
Antonio.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget to read Abraham's what he put in the chat.
I never saw it come through. Can you copy and paste it for me, put it out? I was looking for it the whole time.
Yes, I'll look for it.
Okay. Yeah, he said he was going to do it, but I never saw it come through. Go ahead, Phil, please.
Practical techniques in mental healing.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Y'all need both.
One of the questions from last week's session was, would God wear a mask during these times?
No, was it vaccine or was it field? It was one of.
So that was pretty interesting discussions.
Yeah, Mr. Phil asked the question, and we were on 5 minutes. There was 5 minutes, and Mr. Phil asked the question.
I was on the call. I missed that.
What would Jesus, if Jesus would wear a mask?
What did y'all say? I missed that.
And then Miss Margie called me the devil.
I said
Jesus
he would
absolutely wear a mask. Yes,
that's
he
what
would.
I said. Yes.
Yeah, he would absolutely wear a mask.
Because
but he would have it down because he
of
would be talking. Look, I said he would have it on, but he would have it down. He would be violating because he would always be blessed.
Yeah. Look, he would absolutely wear a mask.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. Now I get the question, but he would absolutely wear a mask. And there's no doubt about it. Because the whole point is to be good, but don't let your good be spoken evil of. So I can't be good and then refuse to do something that is good because y'all are sheeple. It's better for me. Fox News. So, it's better for me to do what is good for sake of all people. It just is. Of course he would. That is a very good question. Of course. Now, can I, Jerome, disagree with what I just said? I could think of 6 disagreements with what I just said just now. The first thing I would do if I was a politician, I'd kill the whole argument, Dolores, but politicians they mastered one-liners. Does God need a mask? Can God get sick? That's the first thing I would do. The first thing I would do is attack you, right, in your beliefs. Oh yeah, I saw Frida, but he said he was gonna post something after that. He said he's gonna post some math there, but his internet probably never came through. Yes, practical methods and mental healing. We need both. That is it. We will start programming here shortly. I promise you, just start going searching for math. I will put a mini math, but I'm gonna have to put one on NFTs because Deanna asked. If you ask me a question, I will address it through writing. Some of I'll teach, but I don't have time to teach all these things. There's not enough hours in the day, but there is enough reading. Read one, give me your thoughts. If you don't, that's cool too. At least reteach it and get some credit. You never have to quote me or something, or you can. You actually look smarter when you quote people. I don't know if y'all know that, but that's why Phil always does it. You look smarter when you quote people. You really do. It adds to the wow. Phil is learned, right? That the old people say it. he's a learned man. Things like that, because you always want to come from sources that are not just you, because now you look more objective instead of just trying to push some point to somebody. You can plant better, you can dominate. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow I'll tell you about the genius of Stradivari and how he ain't playing no games with his show. And we'll go ahead and break it down like that. Good to see you again, Tatiana. Y'all have a good one. And Cindy, keep on the good fight. All right, love y'all.
Love you more.
Y'all have a good one.